Right now, the moon is falling. It has been falling for 4.5 billion years, and it will keep falling for billions more. It has never once hit the ground. You've probably never thought about the moon that way. But that single reframe changes everything about what's actually holding it in place. Here's the reframe. Nothing is holding the moon up. There's no cable, no platform, no invisible shelf in space. The moon isn't resting on anything. It's falling toward Earth constantly and constantly missing. Think about that for a second. An object in orbit isn't defying gravity. It's obeying it perfectly while moving sideways fast enough that the ground curves away beneath it at the same rate it falls. Newton explained this with a thought experiment in 1687. Imagine firing a cannonball from a very tall mountain. Fire it slowly, and it falls to the ground nearby. Fire it faster, and it lands farther away. Fire it fast enough, and something strange happens. The curve of its fall matches the curve of the Earth itself. The cannonball never lands. It just keeps falling forever around the planet. That's an orbit. The moon is Newton's cannonball, except nobody ever fired it. It's been falling like this since the solar system was young. So where did that sideways motion actually come from? The leading explanation, developed and refined over decades by planetary scientists studying lunar samples, is called the giant impact hypothesis. Roughly 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object, sometimes called Theia, is thought to have slammed into the early Earth. The collision blasted a ring of molten debris into orbit, and that debris eventually clumped together under its own gravity to form the moon. That violent origin is exactly why the moon started out moving sideways, fast enough to fall around Earth instead of straight down into it. It inherited its orbit from the chaos of its own birth. Is gravity alone enough to explain why the moon stays exactly where it is? Not quite, because the moon isn't actually staying put at all. Here's the part almost nobody expects. The moon is slowly leaving. Since the 1969 Apollo missions, astronauts have left small mirrored panels called retroreflectors on the lunar surface. Scientists on Earth bounce laser beams off these mirrors and time exactly how long the light takes to return, a technique called lunar laser ranging. That measurement is so precise, it can detect the moon's distance changing by mere centimeters, and it's revealed something remarkable. The moon is drifting away from Earth at roughly 3.8 centimeters every year, about the speed your fingernails grow. The reason comes back to tides. As the moon's gravity pulls on Earth's oceans, it creates a bulge of water that isn't perfectly aligned with the moon's position because Earth's rotation drags that bulge slightly ahead. That misaligned bulge tugs back on the moon, very gently accelerating it forward in its orbit. And here's the twist. Speeding up an orbiting object doesn't just move it faster, it pushes it into a higher, wider orbit. Slowly, year after year, that tiny tug is stretching the moon's path farther from Earth. This isn't some far future catastrophe. The drift is real but glacially slow. Add up billions of years, and the moon used to be dramatically closer, filling far more of the ancient sky than it does now. Early in Earth's history, days were shorter too, partly because that same tidal exchange has been slowly stealing rotational energy from Earth and handing it to the moon's orbit the entire time. There's a term for the endpoint of this process: tidal locking. And the moon has already experienced it in one direction. That's why you only ever see one face of the moon. Earth's gravity long ago slowed the moon's spin until it matched its orbital period exactly, locking one side to always face us while the other, the side no human saw until spacecraft photographed it in 1959, quietly faces away. So what does any of this actually mean for you? The moon isn't parked. It isn't fixed. It's an object perpetually falling and perpetually missing, drifting outward by the width of a fingernail every single year. The direct result of an ancient collision and an ongoing tug of war with Earth's oceans. Every full moon you've ever watched rise was slightly farther away than the one your grandparents saw. Every eclipse you witness is a brief geometric coincidence that won't last forever, because eventually, tens of billions of years from now, the moon's slow drift and Earth's own future will change what the sky looks like entirely. Nothing in the sky is ever really still. The moon has been falling since before there was anyone here to watch it. It just happens to be falling in exactly the right way to keep missing us, one careful, endless 3.8 centimeter step at a time.